Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'm going to be doing a Dollar Tree DVD, Blu-ray, and CD haul, which is insane because the Dollar Tree apparently just started getting CDs in. So I'm going to start with those first. This is a part 2 to the July 16th batch of DVDs and Blu-rays. I ended up going back to my apartment in my college town to officially move out, and it's about 3 hours away, so along the way I stopped at a few Dollar Trees just to kind of see if they had anything left over, and I was actually kind of surprised that many of them look like they had just put their stuff out. So I don't think that there was a new batch in between the 16th and this week, but there might have been, although I think that it is just the same old stuff because a lot of the stuff that I did find was things that had been found previously, specifically on the 16th. But I did get quite a few new things and some CDs, so let's get into what I picked up. Alright, so we're going to start with the CDs. And most of these I have no idea what they are. I picked them up because they either looked interesting. A lot of the ones that I picked up were either movie soundtracks or scores, or they were, or appeared to be kind of like pop punk type of things, and that sounds interesting. More alternative music I do tend to enjoy, so I was like, you know what, I'll pick some of these up and kind of give them a whirl. They're only $1, so I wasn't too worried. So the first one I picked up is by Pete Francis. This is The Movies We Are In. It looked interesting. Obviously, it's kind of movie related. So I figured I would pick this one up and just kind of give it a shot and see what it was all about. Not really sure what it is, so I was like, you know, what can go wrong? I also picked up The Matrix. This is the movie soundtrack. I also picked up, I believe this is just a score from Superman Returns, and that's pretty cool. It does have some enhanced content, which includes Superman Returns trailers, and then a behind-the-scenes video, and then it says, "Look Up in the Sky, the Amazing Story of Superman" trailer. So that's pretty cool that we're getting kind of like some DVD stuff related with that too. This is a Broadway soundtrack. This is, I do not know how to say it. This is a Baz Luhrmann production, so that sounded pretty cool, and I figured I would pick it up. I do tend to sometimes like Broadway stuff, so I was like, you know, I've never heard of this. Let's give it a shot. I also picked up this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soundtrack. This, I believe, is from a CGI 3D animated movie. Specifically, I picked this one up because I know the song Shell Shock by the Gym Class Heroes, so I picked that one up. This was actually the only album that was there that I knew of, and this is the Paris album from Paris Hilton. Specifically, the song I know is Stars Are Blind, but I was like, you know what, I'll pick this up. I also picked this one up, which is the Babel. I believe this is a score, but I could be mistaken. This one looked interesting. I don't know how much I will actually enjoy the music of this, but it's called A Life Once Lost by Hunter, I think. Not entirely sure. It does come with a DVD of, I forget what it was on it. It says, I guess there's a couple different songs, probably music videos on there, so that was cool. I also picked up this deluxe edition of Emblem 3, Nothing to Lose. This is another one. I have heard of Emblem 3. I don't know if I've heard of any of the songs on this. Maybe if I listen to it, I will kind of be like, oh, I've heard that song before, but I'm not sure. I also picked up, this is Lilix, I think that's how you say it. This is one of those like pop punky kind of bands that looked interesting from the early 2000s, so I figured I would pick that up. We have, this is the score of Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So this one was a cool find. Here's another, this looks like a classic pop punk album from the early 2000s. This is called The Shore. I believe that's the title of the band, or like the name of the band, and also the title of the album. This is another, like, this looks like something Panic at the Disco, but this is called Click 5, and the album is Modern Minds and Pastimes. So figured I'd get that one. And then also I have the soundtrack for House of Wax. So there's actually 2 Paris Hilton references in the CDs, but I only picked up the ones that I thought looked interesting, so I will be surprised to see if they continue doing this with CDs or if they like venture into other kind of media. I don't know, but I think that it would be kind of interesting to see where this leads them to go next. But now let's get into the DVDs and Blu-rays. We'll start off with the DVDs. So the first DVD I picked up is Pale Force, and this is a Conan O'Brien and Jim Gaffigan thing, and it's as seen on the Late Night with Conan O'Brien. So I thought that that was kind of cool and figured I would pick this up and kind of just see what it was about. I do kind of like Conan O'Brien. I mean, there's nothing that I don't like about him, but I don't watch a lot of him, so I figured it would be interesting to check that one out. I also picked up this, which is probably not the best, but it looks interesting. It's called The Life Changer, and it kind of gives me, well, at least the cover gives me like Flatliners vibes, but also I really have no idea what this is about. This is called Abominable, and this is, I don't think that this is what I've seen on Sci-Fi Channel. There was like an Abominable movie on Sci-Fi, but I think that that was too far back, and this has a date of 2019. But I figured I would pick this up and kind of like see what it was about. I also picked this up, which is season 2, but I mean, for $1, you can't really go wrong. This is Afterlife. One of the interesting things is that this has Andrew Lincoln in it, and this looks interesting, and I was like, you know what, why not? Now into some of the ones that I was really excited to have found. This is Polaroid. This was one of the, it has an interesting story because it was going to come out in theaters, I believe. After the Weinstein scandal that kind of rocked Hollywood, this movie was one of the casualties of it. But luckily we were able to get this on physical media, and also I believe it's on Netflix. I have not watched it. I don't think that people thought that it was that good, but this does kind of seem like a movie that I would be into. This is another one that has a very interesting story. I wasn't going to buy it because you can get this on Blu-ray, but I was like, you know, I'll buy it and watch it first because the Blu-ray is still pretty pricey. And this is Antrim, and this is apparently the deadliest movie ever made. There's like this whole lore behind this movie, that this was a movie that was like made and then something happened and it was just, it killed a bunch of people or something like that. I don't know. It's a weird story. And then the last one that I picked up in the DVDs is Paradise Lost 3 Purgatory, and this is basically about the West Memphis 3, and I'm a big fan of true crime movies, and this is a documentary, and specifically an HBO documentary, so I was like, you definitely can't go wrong with that for $1. Now let's go through the small list of Blu-rays that I picked up. The first one that I picked up is a Shout Factory title, and this is the World Series from 2018 where the Boston Red Sox won. I figured I would pick this up and maybe watch it, maybe not, but I thought it would be interesting for sure. I picked this up. This is a Gravitas Ventures movie, specifically a documentary, and it's called King of Beers, and it's basically about a whole bunch of brewmasters who are competing in this competition, and it sounded super interesting, and I was like, you know, I will pick this up because it seems like, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of like a Food Network show that would be on, where it's like a 12 episode series of these brewmasters who are competing to win this prize, so it just sounded kind of fun. I did pick up one of the volumes of this, I'm not sure which one, but this is a Ruby Volume 2. I think I have Volume 4, but I don't know a whole lot about this show or anything, but I was like, you know, for $1, you can't really go wrong, and I already have one of them, so I might as well try to get the rest if I find them. The last one that I picked up is called The Domestics. I'm not really quite sure what this one's about. I think a couple people had said that this was a pretty decent one, so I figured I would definitely pick this up and give it a whirl. But that is it for this DVD and Blu-ray haul and CD haul. But let me know in the comments down below what you picked up from your Dollar Tree for this last batch, or if you found any CDs, because I did find that not every store had CDs, only a certain amount of stores. There was probably only like 2 or 3 stores that actually had the CDs, and I thought that that was pretty interesting. And what DVDs and Blu-rays you also picked up, if you picked up any. And remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Go get vaccinated. Bye.